Welcome back to a very special edition of Opening Bell on the Monday 21st of December, the final week before Christmas, before the stock market around the world closes for this festive season. We started off thinking that it will be a Santa rally because last night the stimulus check is released. $900 billion has been agreed, sanctioned. The voting will be happening today so that people in America will be waiting if they're going to get it before Christmas or not, but it's looking really positive. But the market is on a sell-off in Europe. The UK stock market was dropping so quickly that it was down about 3.5%. The DAX was down to almost 4%, and now they're slightly recovering, but it's on a downward spiral. What is the reason for it? Is it Brexit? No, it's all about the new strain of coronavirus that's spreading contagiously, 70% spread more compared to the previous COVID-19, and this is happening south of England. And what's causing it bad is all the borders, the Eurotunnels going to France has been closed off. All the flights, even to Sweden, to Netherlands, to Spain, to France, are all being closed off. European countries are closing their borders away from the UK. This is causing a real concern for people outside of Europe, for Americans, for the people in China, the US market, American market. It's causing a concern thinking, will this impact business? Will this stop us from getting back on our feet, from getting airlines to be flying? That is the starting genuine concern. But do you know that this coronavirus new strain in South England actually came out about a week ago? So there was no sell-off, but it's sell-off now. Very strange. The market reacts really strangely sometimes. So I refer to this as a VIX chart. The VIX is around about 30, 31 when I last saw it. It's down to 29 just now. So the VIX was quite stabilizing under 20. It jumped about 10 points. So that's an indicator there will be a sell-off in the US market in the future that's coming up. The future, in fact, is showing about 1.5 on the downward spiral for the US market. It might change on the opening, but it's showing that it's coming down just now. So be aware of what's going to happen in the situation. You might be watching this before the market opens in the US, but I just want you to prepare. If those having cash, prepare to take this as an opportunity. For those who is getting worried, thinking should be selling off, my rule of thumb is you shouldn't be selling off on days like this. I know if you do run out of cash, you just have to sit tight and ride the storm, because if you hold quality companies, you should be doing fairly well. Okay, so question is, how long will this last for? Looking at the VIX, looking at the trends of the VIX, normally a high jump in the VIX sell-off like this, it will take about 2 days. I think this sell-off, if it does last, if the one in the US does sustain, the VIX might be high for at least the low 30s or above 30s. And then after 2 days, just before Christmas on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe people start buying back to support. But for now, in my personal opinion, as I stand just now, it might last for at least 2 market days for this sell-off. So those who are looking for discount, this is a great day. This ties in coincidentally with Tesla, because by theory last week, people think that the index should be jumping all the way up because of the Tesla induction. But perhaps in this current climate, Tesla might not be as high as we anticipated last week, thinking Tesla were going to be hitting 700. It's already dropping. So it's quite lucky for those index investors. Fund managers are going to be buying Tesla on the cheap rather than expensive. So most likely people will be taking cash out, holding it close to the chest to see what the outbreak, to see more results from this coronavirus. The question that folks will be asking is this new strain virus fit with the current vaccine just now? Matt Hancock, the health secretary of UK, said the current vaccine is still in line, but there's no scientific proof yet unless we take a couple of weeks to see if the people been jabbed with a new vaccine from Moderna are actually very protective away from this new strain. So we are watching this, because the last thing we want to hear, which will just collapse the market against, if the new vaccine from Moderna, from Pfizer, are not effective against a new strain virus. That means the mutation has gone higher. So we're not sure yet. All we hear is the contagiousness between 70 to 75%. So just sit tight. For those who want to buy today, feel free, prepare less. But for me, I might wait until tomorrow to see if there's a further sell-off before I start buying in again. Because the sell-off today will just bring me slightly above for my buying price. I really want it low before I buy in. So I'm watching. I've got cash prepared. I'm not selling. If I do sell, I may perhaps sell my BFT stock just to take a bit more cash on the side. But other than that, I shouldn't be selling. I should be looking at my checklist. So you guys may be asking what will be on my checklist. So the ones that's on my checklist is, obviously I'll be looking at Tesla. I'm looking at ARK Invest funds, which I've spoke about ETF. I'm really keen to get on in. I'm looking at Square, looking at PayPal, and also most lastly that I'm actually looking closely is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is falling, but I don't see the reason why they should be falling. They're just through the sentiment of the market. So Bitcoin will be on top of my list, that if they drop about 21,000 or 20,000, I would try to get in. That's my first target, and then Tesla, and then PayPal, and Square, and then the list goes on. So this is me for a really quick recap, just to warn everybody. So just calm down. This is part of the situation. We're still uncovering if this sell-off is a real reason through the COVID, and we need to find out whether this new strain is legitimate. But one other good reason for a sell-off today is the sell-off today was let off steam. When I say let off steam, means it will just bring the bubble down a bit. So in January, less likely there'll be a huge sell-off, which a lot of investors are anticipating, about 15th to 20th, where they're expecting a huge sell-off. But if you're getting a sell-off now, then in January, less likely you're going to get a mega sell-off before the earnings season's coming up. So it's sort of a good news to let the steam off a bit. So I will try to keep a close eye on the market and keep you guys update and inform, but for now we're just going to sit back and prepare our game plan for today. So I hope you guys take a piece of paper and go what you need to do for the rest of the week. Okay, thank you, take care, leave your comments and question below. I'll try my best to answer because I'm on holiday now. I've got a lot of time on my hands. See you, bye.